Okay, we're continuing on with our trip to Panama. And I'm just saving the game as Panama 2. As you can see, it's pretty much just... Okay. Panama route, since it is in most cases the most expensive route, generally attracts the slightly more sophisticated passenger. But the jungle has no respect for sophistication, only surprises. Some of these people haven't seen a hard day's work in their entire lives, save for chopping that firewood for mother. But nonetheless, it has become the route taken by New York brokers, Philadelphia lawyers, Boston bankers, and big city doctors. The captain advises the passengers they'll take approximately 2 to 3 weeks to get to the Rio Chagres, I guess. That was a better Spanish accent than I thought I could have, and that probably was pretty poor overall anyway. Okay, there's one main advantage of this route over the Cape Horn. It normally takes less time than the Cape Horn route, getting you to that California gold as soon as possible. One thing I'm going to pause to say is I don't think, unlike the stagecoach route, we have interruptions at every single point in the ocean. Obviously, there's not too many landmarks to see out there, and I think we're pretty much far enough off the coast that they're not going to tell us what exists on the East Coast. And once we actually get to Panama, it's not simply autopilot like it was for most of the stagecoach route. We actually do things. Anyway, so I think it'll be a little more interesting, and maybe a little shorter too. That is, if everything goes right. You're taking a big chance on catching a ride on the Pacific side of the isthmus. You must also contend with the Panamanian jungle. It was a big risk. I mean, I assume there's probably a lot of ships going out as well. I mean, it's not like we really have to catch an exact flight or something. Anyway, the word isthmus, too. I don't think I've used that since 7th grade when we learned it in our geography class. And I guess the only isthmus I can think of is Panama. I wonder if it was just created for that. Viewers or commenters, are there other isthmuses out there? I guess I could isthmi, maybe. I guess I could check on Wikipedia or something too, but I'm pretty lazy, so if anyone has any trivia or anything interesting to say on that, feel free to leave on the comment board. As you travel farther south, the humidity continues to rise, not surprisingly. Man, it's pretty humid in Washington, D.C. I'm not there now, but I was there for a while. I can only imagine what it's like in Panama. In the distance, you get your first glimpse of the Panamanian coastline. It is a wall of green rising abruptly from a beautiful blue sea. There are a few coral islands and reefs that your captain meticulously maneuvers around. Meticulously maneuvers. That's a tough little phrase there. Okay. The scene as you see it is as it has always been. It will be just as difficult to walk across the isthmus today as it was for Balboa centuries ago. Not exactly sure who the Balboa were. I guess some indigenous people. Near the mouth of the Rio Chagres, that wasn't quite as good, are ancient Spanish, Scottish, and England forts. Now in ruins, the most famous of these is Fort San Lorenzo. Hidden by the dense jungle are many more that are now invisible. Okay. Other cities and fortresses which once flourished are now overgrown and hidden. No one knows where they are. So we get a bit of a history lesson every time we go through pretty much any of the routes. Ships arriving from all over the world are not allowed to dock on the Caribbean side of the isthmus. Ships must anchor offshore, which results in the passengers having to pay exorbitant prices to native business people for a ride to shore. I wonder if that's the reason why. You will ride to shore and 40 miles up the Rio Chagres in small wooden boats. Offshore, it is beautifully silent. I don't know why it seems like these texts are catching me off guard. I don't know if you can hear the PC speaker, but it's got a little nice tune to this, which is actually somewhat irritating. But I assume you will not mind if I skip to the next scene. Well, let's see if it's going anywhere. Let's see if I can think of anything interesting to say. There's Fort San Lorenzo. City of Chagres. Well, it's giving me at least a few things to... The thickest jungle you have ever seen. A few things to say from the text box. Well, that's at least good. It kind of reminds me of some of those really old, travel videos or something, where they shoot... They tell you about different locations in a city or something, and they just go through it with a narrator. Or maybe it wasn't even old ones. I think maybe it was taking a Spanish class or something. They used to do that. They go to Madrid or something, show a video of it, and then shift from every little location or every historical location or tourist place of interest to tourists. Not that I can remember any of them, but anyway, that's over. It actually wasn't too bad, so not skipping through it wasn't a big deal. And here's one of the native folks ferrying us through. Okay, so we're going to go through a river, and I don't know if it's going to stop us. The crooked river winds its way through a deep canyon with steep walls covered with thick vegetation. In the jungle, it is never silent. There is an underlying hum and a rustle, and the sound of water dripping. Birds are squawking, monkeys are chattering. Things you can't see are crashing and crumbling. I've got to say, I've never been to a jungle. I've never really been outside the U.S. either. So, the wildlife is breathtaking. Monkeys are seen swinging in the trees. Alligators are sunning on logs. Jaguars are stalked ashore. Flamingos, pelicans, eagles, blue and white herons, and vultures dot the sky. Not to mention all the creatures you can't see that are watching you. It must have been harder for some of the CR folks with this game that they actually had to look up things. I mean, you can't just make up some monsters or something. There's a source to decide, or what are creatures? The Syrians from Space Quest 1. Insects are unbearable. They are not just a nuisance. They carry dreaded, deadly diseases. I think there's a hint that you had to buy the net, and you probably suffer an untimely demise if you do not. At times it is necessary to get out of the boat and drag it through shallow portions of the river. You don't want to touch the jungle plants. Some of them have poisonous juice. Some have 4-inch spikes. Some have blades as long and sharp as swords. Some serious plants. You sweat continuously. The temperature may only be 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The air is saturated and perfectly still. All around you is the smell of hot, wet, rotten vegetation. Why do people go to the Caribbean for vacation? I guess they probably are spending more time at the beaches than the inner jungle. You're beginning to wonder why you ever left the comforts of Brooklyn. Then again, I don't know. Is Panama really a hot spot for visitation, for travel, for tourism? I don't know. And here's some native, apparently. The leading native on the shore yells, Hungo Bungo Krama Zumba, Humba Wa Ratsa Snoff Agunga. I'm gonna guess they made that up. Your guide leader interprets. The leader of the natives said, give us all your valuable possessions. If you do, we will let you live. Okay. The leader of the natives continues, Hafa Dunga Lo Buba Yo-Yo Gumbi Krumba Su Mackerel. Alright. The guide interprets, if we don't, they will kill us as dead as a mackerel. Apparently mackerel is the same in our language as it is in their language. The guide continues, I don't think they are bluffing. Do you think we should give them our valuables? Yes, I do. They will kill you otherwise. You tell the guide to tell the natives we will cooperate. Now why, once again, are we in charge of life and death situations? We're not even part of some joint mining and stock company. The guide says to the natives, Harango Yogonza, no Mianda Yursava Owen Bozongosa. Your gold coin is deep in your pocket. As you empty your pockets, you daringly leave it there. The letter from your brother Jake is in your hip pocket, along with the gold flake under the stamp. You leave that there. Your family photo is in your pocket, so you keep that. Everything else you have with you is thrown onto the shore. The leader of the native runs over to loot lying on the shore. Alright, so pretty much this is where you lose everything once again, except for those items. Same thing as the stagecoach. The leader of the native says, Mumbo ala jumbo ya suna gumbo, Raram mango soma ruba. Your guide interprets, they are happy with the items we have given them. You're free to go. Well, that's fair trade, I guess. As you can tell, we don't get the Bible until, well, I hope I didn't spoil it for you. I think I told you beforehand. Anyway, we didn't have a Bible to lose, unlike last time, whereas the passengers let us keep it. I don't know if the natives would have wanted the Bible. Probably couldn't read it, but they seem to have. They know mackerel, so maybe they know some English. Okay, it seems to come to another village. These guys couldn't help us out. Anyway, I think this is probably a good place to end in a second. See, there's a snake up there. I really hope we don't get killed at some point before I get a chance to save it. Okay, well, I'm going to actually end right now, and we'll be back.